Greetings, YouTube, and welcome to episode 15 of Encyclopedia Magica Volume 1. At this particular rate, I'm going to be doing these things till I'm 90, seeing as we are on page 74 of the first volume of a 4-volume set. At least it'll be entertaining. Now how I said when I was in my last video that, I should really read up on the whole dragon section that I was about to enter into before the next video. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be smart of me? Yeah, I didn't. So here we are. So what are we looking at now? We are looking at Evil Dragon. What section are we in? Oh, Evil Dragon Armor. That's what we're in. We're still in the armor section. All right, that's right. Well, that makes sense. We're in the A's. So the whole idea of using dragons to make armor out of dragons has been around for a long time. But I think it's interesting in that, at least in Dungeons & Dragons, it's very explicit that dragons are fully sapient. They have an entire culture. So you are making armor out of somebody else's skin. And frankly, there isn't much difference between making dragon armor and making orc armor. Not armor for orcs, but armor out of orcs. That's kind of creepy. Now, making armor, say an armored shield, out of a scale isn't much of an issue. Dragons are going to lose scales throughout their entire lives. So there's nothing really wrong. Reptiles shed these kind of things all the time. Not a big deal. I find there's no moral problem at all with using a scale to make a shield, or even making armor out of excess scales. You can pull that off, I think, morally. But if you're going to make it out of the actual skin, that's a much more questionable circumstance, and I would have a hard time in the current era for having a justification for a party composed of good aligned people wearing the skin of a sapient being as armor. But things were a little looser and fast and loose back in the first and second edition era, when we didn't really think about things quite as deeply as we do now. We weren't, as they say, as woke. So the idea of creating armor out of dragons was considered a little bit more acceptable, just like we used to eat dragons. Yeah, we used to eat dragon meat. You're eating a sapient. Yes, I know there are going to be people that say, well, that's not cannibalism because it's not the same exact species. But I pretty much think cannibalism should be if you're a humanoid, you eat any humanoid, that should be considered cannibalism. And maybe we should consider eating dragons to be cannibalistic because they're sapient beings. And if you're eating a sapient being, that should probably be viewed in a negative connotation. Let's face it, people don't take it well when dragons eat us. Talks about, so the hide must be removed with care, and at this juncture, a very sharp-edged weapon is essential to trim the hide as cleanly and efficiently as possible. Cleanly and efficiently off a living creature that used to be sapient. Yeah, it is a little friggin' creepy in my book. It really, really is. However, if you get this thing off, there's going to be all kinds of benefits. When the enchantment is complete, the armor is equivalent to scale mail +1, okay, which gives an A armor class of 5. Ah, yes, remember the old D&D, the old AD&D AC system. Movement of 9, weight 15 pounds. In addition, each colored armor type affords the wearer resistant or immunity to a particular attack form. The special properties of each type are white dragon armor, resistance against white dragon breath, winter wolf breath, cone of cold spells, and other attacks forms involving cold, ice, or frost. Again, just way too much specificity. Just get protection from cold. It's so much easier. Black armor, black dragon, what a shock. It takes care of acid damage. Green takes care of gaseous things. Iron Golem Breath, cloud-killed spells, and other attack forms using poisonous gases. I might even say it gives you kind of life bubble vibe on that one, as far as gases are concerned. It may not support you underwater or in a vacuum, but it covers you completely when it comes to gaseous kind of attacks. Blue dragon armor gives you electricity vibes. Protection, red dragon does fire. Resistance, now that's in quotes, resistance includes 3 benefits. The wearer of the armor gains a +1 on all saving throws against the specific attack form. The wearer is unaffected by any attack of the specific type that does 6 points of damage or less in a round. In all cases, the wearer is entitled to a -1 modifier on each and every damage die rolled. So it gives you DR. It gives you damage resistance. Just do that. It's so much simpler. Wink, you're done. Gives you DR. There's something to be said for 3.5 and Pathfinder. And again, currently I am still referencing Pathfinder first edition because I have not read second edition. Yes, I know I am a horrible gamer. Okay, now we're going to go into the Armor of Fear. The armor looks like a normal armor and detects magic, only reveals it is in magic. However, the armor contains 2d10 fear charges when found. Well, that's kind of cool. Okay, but I forgot the value on this one. XP 4,000 and GP 40,000. So we have a 10-to-1 ratio. So kind of cool. You can cast a fear spell. Then they have Fear 2. 3,000 and 30,000. Armor functions as normal plate mail +1. However, is imbued with two die. That has to be a misprint. 2 fear charges. The first one was 2 die 10, so I'm thinking it should be 2 die 20, but they printed it 2 die 2. That's got to be a misprint on that one. It's got to be 2d20. All right. Then we have Armor of Flight, 1,000 to 7,500. That's a stranger ratio. We don't know. When commanded, the armor creates a fly spell effect on the user, which lasts for 12 turns, and a turn was 10 rounds. Back in a day when a round was 10 minutes. Yeah, absurd. No, a round was 1 minute, rather. Turns were 10 minutes. The user may then travel in the air up to 360 feet per turn by mere concentration at 3rd level spell. Yeah, that's just somebody has a movement speed of 30 when they fly, or you might want to give it be a nice and say even a 40, a little bit faster if you want. But yeah, it gets you flight speed. We have the Armor of Gaseous Form, 3,000 to 15,000. Valuable armor enables users to turn into a cloud of gas as per the potion gaseous form, including all equipment and carried, yada, yada, yada. The user can remain gaseous for up to 6 turns and returns to normal form by mere concentration. Now, 6 turns, again, would be 60 minutes. So I would probably think that would be reasonable to have that be just a certain number of rounds per day and have them usable in like 1 round, or even minutes. You could say, no, it was like, even if it was only 6 minutes, you have to use it 1 minute shots. Still, a minute of gaseous form is a lot. You can do a lot in a minute with gaseous form, because gaseous form is almost always going to be a breaching or escaping action, getting into or out of something, and that usually doesn't take a lot of time. It is rare that the actual process of getting into or out of something is going to take you more than 10 rounds, which is a minute. So, yeah. Then we have the Armor of Gnarldans, Gnarldan. No XP, no valuable. This is from the monster mythology. Gnarldans' avatar wears chainmail +2 of fire resistance. That seems kind of lame for an avatar. You're an avatar of a damn god. That's all your armor does? This must be a low-powered god. Okay, we have the Armor of Haste, 2,000 XP to 10,000 GP. When commanded, the armor creates a haste spell effect. Didn't see that one coming. Doubling the normal movement. You get the idea. Haste lasts for 1 turn, is usable only once per day. And again, you can just say 10 rounds, and you can, use it at 1 round increments. That would be kind of cool as well. That way you could be a situation where you just need that 1 extra attack or 1 extra action, or there may be battles when you have to use all of them all at once. How often do we actually have are there negative aspects for using haste a lot? Because realistically, if you're speeding yourself up, shouldn't you be aging faster? Or is the haste spell such that it prevents you from aging while under the effect of this spell? I don't know. I have to think about that a little bit more. Then we have the Armor of Healing, 10,000 to 80,000. Again, a slightly strange ratio. This armor appears to be normal magical armor. However, once per day, it automatically heals the wearer for 2d6 damage, whether desired or not. If it does this without warning or set time, each healing takes 1 charge, and the armor has 3d10 charges when found. When all the charges are spent, the armor becomes magical armor plus 1. I think this should be triggered by something. I don't think it just be random. I mean, you take 2 points of damage, you're going to lose a charge off this thing? No. I think it you get to X percentage of your hit points and then it kicks in. That would be a lot better. Because you can really save your bacon in those circumstances. So yeah, I would prefer to have 25% would be good. If you're down to 25% hit points, getting that extra boost could really save you. Then we have the, again, this is an Avatar's Armor of Heimdall's. That one I can actually say. It's full plate plus 3, is pure white in color, and works as a gem of brightness. Better, but still not the, you're an avatar of a god. It should have more of a vibe. Okay, now interesting, there's 2 different Heimdall's armor. One is from, the one I just mentioned is from God, Demigods, and Heroes. And then this one is from Legends and Lore, which was that's intriguing. And again, this one has no value. The avatar is white plain mirrors. This one is a plus 3, prevents from being hit by any weapon of less than plus 3. So it gives you damage resistance. But doesn't give you a gem of brightness. I'd much rather have that one, frankly. Yeah. Okay, then we have the Armor of Horus. This is actually armor, not just an avatar armor, and the ratio is 3,500 XP to 17,500. That's a strange ratio as well. This armor is scale male plus 4. It's equivalent of AC 2. Also gives the wearer resistance to all fire and lightning attacks. Fire and lightning attacks automatically inflict only half damage, quarter damage if the saving throw is successful. That's some pretty darn powerful armor. That's, for that bonus, 17,500 gold pieces? That seems like a good deal. Then we have more avatar armor. This is Ilneval's Red Chainmail. I-L-N-E-V-A-L. Ilneval. He wears red chainmail. That's what it comes straight out of the gate saying. He wears red chainmail plus 4 that deflects all bolt and ray attacks, ray spell and spell-like effects. Polymorph wand, the ray version of Autoluke's freezing spear, etc., etc. It's kind of interesting. Then we have Indra's golden armor. Indra's avatar wears magical golden armor that protects him from all non-magical missile attacks. It doesn't give you any bonus to AC, but I guess you're completely immune. Now, does that count as thrown weapons? That would be powerful against giants. Armor of Invisibility, 1,500 XP to 7,500 GP. When commanded, this armor makes the user invisible as if the second level wizard spell were cast. In addition, the armor itself can become invisible 3 times per day as on command of the user. So your armor itself could be invisible and remain invisible until you attack. That's kind of cool. Of course, I don't think most people understand this, but when you're wearing armor, you don't have street clothes on under it. I wouldn't just be wearing this with plate armor. You're going to be wearing your undergarments. On top of that, you're going to be wearing a pair of trews, and you're going to be wearing maybe a tunic, and then on top of that, you're going to be wearing a gambazon, which is a full-length padded surcoat. And then on top of that, you're going to have your armor. So if your armor were invisible, you would be looking like someone that's in their gambazon, the padded outfit underneath, And you would be moving strangely because it's going to still be armor. It'd be much better if you had like a glamour on it that would make it look like clothing. You're still not going to move quite as well. I think if you have glamour on, if it's just changing the appearance of your armor, it really should be noticeable to some degree. That a skilled fighter would be able to tell that somebody's wearing armor, even if it looks like clothing or it's invisible. Okay, the Coalish plate mail of the seas, Ceolish, Coalish, I guess, 1500 to 75. This mail armor has given by the king of Coland to an admiral who had fought successfully against the sea princes. It is plate mail +1 and floats in water, negating the chance for its wearer to sink or even slightly choppy water. The wearer can tread water indefinitely, but cannot dive deeper than 2 feet. Swim speed is not affected by this armor. It's kind of cool because in real life, if you're going to be on the ocean, you want to wear heavy armor, you're going to be wearing just a chain because you can turn yourself upside down and shuck chain off your body so you don't drown. You can't really take off plate armor quickly. You're going to drown. This magic armor solves that problem, but you are going to look unusual. Other people that do marine-style combat, from ship to ship, are going to be going, why is that guy in plate mail? Because he's asking for a death sentence if he falls overboard. That's a bit of a tell, if you ask me. We have the armor of Kumakawa. This is from Dragon Quest, 300 to 2000. This is a suit of leather armor fashioned from the hide of an owlbear. Aww, owlbear. Sorry, owlbear. I have an owlbear up there on the shelf that my wife made me. It has been enchanted with wax from mystical candles. Unlike normal leather armor, which gives its wearer an AC armor class of, flipping pages with my brace on is a pain in the tuchus. 7, the Kumakawa provides armor class of 6, so it's one better, of course. A shield, high dex score, or magic armor improves this even more. Yes, I don't understand why you felt the need to tell me that under a magic item description. Oh, it's a little weird. Okay. Well, we're going to call that good here because we are now up to the L's. And, this armor is going to go on for a bit because armor is really important in fantasy type games, and everybody wants magic armor now, don't they? Let me make sure I have this book oriented in the proper direction. Alrighty, so thank you for being here for episode 15, I think I said at the beginning of this video, of the Encyclopedia Magica Volume 1. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I hope that you will return for the next episode.